Hello and welcome to this video about pricing strategies. Now I'm going to try and make this quick, okay? So there's three factors: customers, competitors, and costs. For customers, we look at demand, the product, and for the consumers, it's also the quality of the product. So it's not just the product, it's also the quality. For competitors, we look at, are there substitutes? If we're, for example, producing jam, then there are several other jams or Nutella or some other substitutes. We have to see how our product tries to be different and how our competitors try to be different, right? And then the cost is basically just the cost of production, okay? So it's important to look at the market types because they help determine the weight of each component. For example, in a perfect competition, company will have no control over prices. But in a less competitive market, for example, cameras, all three factors are important. So it really is the value placed by the consumers. The companies want, a high price and a high demand, but, that is not always controlled by the companies depending on the market type. So we have three pricing strategies, you could say: target pricing, cost plus pricing, value pricing. Value pricing, I'm not going to go into details. It's kind of actually more complicated than it seems, but it's just basically the perceived value of your product. That's what you charge. Cost plus pricing, you have cost plus the markup. The markup could be to cover profits, such as you want 30% profit, so you have cost plus 30%. And an issue is that it kind of ignores demand, so that's not a good thing about it, but there's also plenty of good things. With target pricing, you look at the target cost equals the target price minus the target profit. So if you rearrange that, it becomes your target price equals your target cost plus your target profit. I just realized that is a bit target profit, okay? And other things to think about as well, there's also something called Kaizen costing. I think that you should look more into it because I'm not an expert in it, and there are many other videos on YouTube to watch about that, okay? So there's also some things to think about, some ethical things. For example, predatory pricing, when you're going into a market and you charge maybe lower than your costs and force out your competitors who can't afford that. This is illegal as well in most situations, I believe. Price discrimination is offering different prices for different consumers. There's also some ethical problems with that, but price discrimination is also used a lot. Like if you go to a zoo, you have a different price for students, for kids, for adults. It's fairly normal. And then pharmaceutical products. When it comes to medicines, like what's ethical to charge for medicine, and that is another ethical issue. We have other pricing strategies. Price skimming is starting off with a high price for your early adopters, usually for technologies, and gradually reducing the price as the product life cycle passes. So when you're reaching growth and maturity of your product, you're decreasing your price and you're including the more price sensitive consumers. And price penetration is really, you go in and you give a low price to gain customer loyalty and gain market share, right? You could also, there's actually a third strategy I haven't included here, but you could just give the average price of the market, because usually this one will decrease towards the average and the price penetration will increase towards the average, and you could just start off with the average. It's possible. When we're looking at pricing products, we're also looking at make or buy and special orders. The rules are, when you're deciding whether to make or buy, you look at the relevant costs plus the opportunity cost. Now I should write this somewhere here, maybe. Let's see if this is an attractive color. Your opportunity cost is your contribution margin lost. So if you do an alternative, what is the contribution margin you lose? Alright, then there's also quantitative factors, and and these are things you can't count, and it's like how you're maybe perceived. If you're like a hotel, how you're perceived as a good high class hotel or a budget hotel, or also other quality factors is if you give like a special price to some consumers, not others, you're gonna maybe piss off your other consumers. And for make or buy, it's like the quality of the product. If you buy the product, it's the same quality as if when you make it yourself. And effects of laying off the workers, which would have otherwise made the product, right? It can have a bad effect on your employee morale. Okay. And then there is special orders. In the rule here is that it has to be higher than your variable cost plus the opportunity cost. And I think that is really all of it. Do look further into Kaizen costing and life cycle costing. That's my only suggestion. I hope this video made sense. Thank you.